While the world watched tanks and soldiers on the front lines of World War II, a different kind of war was raging in secret. Teenagers with leaflets, farmers hiding radios, women disguised as couriers, men with no weapons, just conviction. They were spies, saboteurs, messengers, and martyrs. And they fought in silence. This is the story of the unsung resistance fighters of We, the hidden heroes who risked everything to defy the Nazis from within. After 1940, Nazi Germany had swallowed much of Europe, from France and the Netherlands to Poland and Norway. Tyranny wasn't just on the battlefield, it was in city streets, police stations, and town squares. For ordinary people, resistance meant death. Even suspicion could mean execution. But thousands stood up anyway, not with armies, but with acts of defiance. It began with whispers and ended in revolutions. In France, resistance was born in the shadows. Men and women formed underground networks to sabotage railroads, blow up bridges, and smuggle messages to the Allies. They forged documents, passed secret maps, and risked death with every breath. Before D-Day, their intelligence was vital. When the Allied forces landed in Normandy, the French resistance disrupted German reinforcements, helping ensure the landing succeeded. Some fighters were former soldiers, others were teachers, bakers, or teenagers. None had formal training, but all had courage. Many of the war's bravest heroes were women, often overlooked in history books. Noor Inayat Khan, a British Indian Muslim woman and a spy in occupied France, sent coded messages from rooftops while evading the Gestapo. She was captured, tortured, and executed. But she never gave up a single name. Violette Sabo, a young widow and mother, parachuted into France and led sabotage missions. Nancy Wake, known as the White Mouse, was so effective at evading capture, the Nazis put a massive bounty on her head. They weren't just symbols of courage, they were warriors in their own right. In Poland, the resistance was massive. The Home Army had over 300,000 members. They fought a two-front war, resisting Nazi occupation and preparing for a future free Poland. In 1944, they launched the Warsaw Uprising, a 63-day battle to liberate the city. Though ultimately crushed, the uprising became a symbol of national pride and bravery. In secret ghettos, Jewish partisans smuggled weapons, staged uprisings, and documented Nazi atrocities, even in the shadow of the Holocaust. Their resistance was not just physical, it was spiritual, cultural, and moral. Resistance didn't only exist outside of Germany. In Munich, a small group of students formed the White Rose movement, distributing anti-Nazi pamphlets across universities. Led by Sophie Scholl and her brother Hans, they believed truth could awaken the German people. They were arrested and executed in 1943, just days after being caught. Their final leaflet was smuggled out and dropped by Allied planes over Germany, their voices echoing even after death. In Norway, a team of resistance fighters pulled off one of the most important sabotage missions of the war. The Germans were producing heavy water, a key ingredient in atomic bomb research. But in 1943, Norwegian saboteurs skied through blizzards, broke into the facility, and blew up the production site. Their mission delayed the Nazi nuclear program and possibly changed the course of history. Resistance came at a cost. Tens of thousands were captured, tortured, or executed. Entire villages were burned for sheltering partisans. Families disappeared overnight, sometimes for a single act of defiance. Yet the resistance grew stronger. Every radio message, every stolen document, every railroad sabotaged was a declaration: we are not afraid, we will not be silent. After the war, many resistance fighters returned to ordinary life, their sacrifices forgotten by history. Some, like Turing's codebreakers, were silenced by secrecy. Others were too humble to speak of what they had done. But monuments across Europe now bear their names. Their stories live on in dusty journals, unmarked graves, and whispered family legends. And now, in your hands, through memory, not every war hero carries a weapon. Some carry a typewriter, a radio, a leaflet, a match. The resistance may have lived in shadows, but their bravery lit the way. Share their story, speak their names. Because history isn't just about generals and empires, it's also about the ordinary people who chose to fight back and changed the world because of it. Follow Time Chronicles for more powerful stories that history tried to forget, but we refuse to.